Right, good evening once more then. So we're back out here now. Before we put the gearbox in, we're going to try and get some of this ducting back in. I haven't fully figured out how all of this ducting works yet. Most of it is obvious where it goes, but I'm not quite sure how the cables fit into it. But I'm hoping it will become more obvious as we get further along and see what's missing. Okay, so in the first instance then, this ducting's got to go in, and it had broken between these 2 points. So all I've done is just put some like little self-tappers in there with some like little spire clips on there, and that's holding these 2 bits together fine. Now I need some big Jubilee clips to join some of these bits together, and I've got this. Now look at this. This is probably, you know, it's probably off the First World War or something, First World War or something like that. But it's been in my garage for donkey's years, this, and I've never used it. I can't even remember where it came from. It's one of those things. All it is it's basically, if you can see, well, it's old, but it's basically a big roll of Jubilee clip and then some ends. Now, I've never used this before because it's always too big for what you want, but I think for this it will be absolutely perfect. So I don't think it's going to be, well, I don't know, we're going to figure out how it works, and hopefully we'll use it to screw together the ducting. Okay, so we'll have a go and then we'll see what it looks like. Well, I have to say, what a brilliant idea. Never-ending Jubilee clip. Absolutely fantastic. So I've managed to do the clip here, and then there's a couple of big ones underneath where that goes onto the ducting underneath the van. And yeah, it's awesome, that stuff. If you can ever get any, I would recommend getting it. I don't know, never seen it before. I don't even know where. I think I must have bought that from probably saw it at a car boot sale and thought, well, that'll be handy one day. And lo and behold, it has come in handy. So with this ducting then, so this ducting is now, this bit of ducting is now in place where it needs to be. I had to put, where it's riveted together, it actually broke off there as well. So I've just had to put some little self-tappers and spire clips on this, between these 2 bits as well. But it's solid as a rock now, so that should be fine. So what I have here, this is what I'm not sure about, is you can see there's a couple of cables that come up to these brackets here. So there must be some form of flap or something between this bit and what I have, which is missing off of this van. Okay, I say it's missing off the van. It might. Well, I've got boxes of bits with this, so I'll have a look through the boxes of bits later on. Oh, excuse me. I'll have a look later on and see if there's anything in there that looks like it'll do the job. But ducting is on, fantastic, which is what we needed to do. So I think I'm in the mood now. So I think I might just try lifting this gearbox in place at least this evening. Gearbox. All the gearbox has is 4 mounting bolts up the front end of it. And obviously the drive shafts have got to be bolted on, and then the gear link, we've got to sort the gear linkage out and set that up correctly. I've got a Haynes manual, Haynes Book of Lies, so I'm going to look at that and see how to set the gear linkage up on it. But let's get it in place first. I won't be able to video it, but to be fair, it's only 4 bolts, like I say, so it will just be a matter of wrestling it onto a trolley jack and lifting it up into the right place. Yokie dokie once more then. So yeah, good, see you in a little while. Hello again. So we have, what have we done? Gearbox is in, new clutch hose and all of the rest of it. The gearbox then, what does the gearbox have? A mounting at the front, reverse light switch, 2 drive shafts, and the clutch slave cylinder, and that's it basically. So that's all bolted in. I've lubricated all of the clutch arm and everything up inside there and got it moving nice and freely, which is fantastic. I've bled the clutch before I put it in because it's going to be very difficult to get to it when it's in. So I managed to bleed it through. I had to use, I've got a vacuum bleeder, and it was a bit of a pain in the arse, to be fair, but it's gone through in the end. So I'm hoping that's good. It feels as in I don't think there's any air in it anymore anyway, which is a good start. So I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to get this engine in, but before I do that, and again, I'm not sure about this. Where's my light? My forever disappearing light. Oh, good sakes! I had it 2 minutes ago. Hold on one moment. Okay, you're back. Good. So I found my torch. Here it is, look, in my hand. So what I'm doing, I'm trying to get this engine together as much as I think it will go before it will go in. And so I'm going to try. I don't know if this is the right way of doing things, but to be fair, I think this is going to be virtually impossible to get on afterwards. So it's got to go on first, in my view. Now then, when I bought this bus, the guy, Christian, hello Christian, if you're still watching these videos, he gave me a load of bits with it as well, and he gave me some tin work, spare tin work, which was all manky and rusty. But to be fair, what I've done is I've cleaned all of it up and then just used the best bits on here, so out of the old and the new. But he also gave me a new engine gasket as well, which is in a better condition than the one that came off of the bus. Now the problem is with this, or the problem I'm having with this, is it's rock hard, very unforgiving, very unbending. And when you're trying to, can you see that bend there? When you're trying to bend it round and get it round these sort of complex curves like this, it doesn't want to do it. So I have found, using just a heat gun, heating it up a little bit and doing it bit by bit, and it's actually going on very well. Okay, I'm not going to video me heating this up and pushing it on, but you get the idea. And yeah, it seems to be working pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to continue on, get this gasket on here, and then I'm going to try and get the engine back underneath the bus somehow. Well, there you go, that wasn't so bad. I managed to get the engine underneath the van at least, just walked it down on a couple of bits of board. It was a bit dark in there, isn't it? Okay, good, so that's done. So now it's just a matter of whether or not I try and get the engine crane on the top or a trolley jack on the bottom. So, I'm swinging towards trolley jack, because the problem is with the engine crane, I have to manage to get the legs underneath the engine anyway. We'll have a think. Check this out. Only managed to get the bugger in. Fantastic. Seal doesn't look too bad. I think that plate is a bit bent in it at the back. But yeah, she's in. She's in. Awesome. This was a job for the weekend, and I've managed to do it tonight, which is great. I love this engine crane. I did it with a crane in the end. I love a tool that does exactly what it's meant to do, and that does exactly what it's meant to do. Fantastic. So, we can start putting little bits and bobs back on it again now, can't we? We'll have a look underneath it in a minute, and we'll see what bits are missing. You're right. It's a Sunday night now, and I've had a very, very good weekend. The engine is in, and the engine is running. Absolutely brilliant. Sounds sweet as a nut. No oil coming out of the bottom of it as well, which is a right result. You'll notice, well, the more eagle-eyed amongst you may notice that actually the distributor isn't the original one. This one's got points and condensers on it. And so I've wired that one in, and we're not using any of the electronics on it at the moment. Due to complete stupidity on my part, the two wires that I had to plug into this engine wire loom proved too much for me. And I ended up taking the distributor apart. I might do actually a video on that and diagnosis on it at some point or other, because I think it might be quite handy if I can bring myself to do it. Anyway, it kind of did us a right favour in a sense, because the problems we had meant looking through all of the boxes of bits trying to find some spares, and we found a spare distributor, which was a result. But even better than that, I found these. And these are the two bits that are missing from underneath. So these are the two flaps for the heater, or the heater pipes. Now the cables are absolutely shagged on the thing, but I'm gonna, and these are seized up as well, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clean these up and try and get these working again, and then we'll have a look at the cables on it as well. So in the first instance, wire wheel, probably get all of the corrosion off, see what sort of a state they're in, see if they need repairing in any way, shape or form, lubricate them up, and yeah, see if we can get them on the van. Okay, so that's my next job.